nowadays.
This is News Tonight.
Good evening, I'm Genevieve with tonight's top stories on this New Year's Eve. In his New Year message, Prime Minister Lawrence Wong says the Singapore economy did better than expected in 2025, but he cautions that sustaining growth will be difficult. Singapore will ring in the New Year in just a few hours. We bring you the sights and sounds at 3 countdown shows happening all over the island. Also tonight, Singapore sends more aid to Gaza. About 150 volunteers turned up to pack 18 tons of supplies. They include ready-to-eat meals and collapsible jerry cans. Singapore's economy beat expectations by growing 4.8% this year. This is its strongest showing since the post-COVID rebound in 2021. But in Prime Minister Lawrence Wong's New Year message, he says sustaining this will be difficult amid rising geopolitical tensions and a fractured global trading system. Proposals to refresh Singapore's economic strategies will be unveiled soon, with the government set to respond at Budget 2026. Shan Lim tells us more.
Singapore turned 60 this year, with a new government at the helm. Employment stayed strong, with real incomes rising across the board. But beyond our shores, 2025 marked a turning point. No end in sight to the war in Ukraine, and fresh violence along the Thailand-Cambodian border. Supply chains also being reshaped in the name of security and resilience. Despite this, Singapore's economy outperformed expectations with a 4.8% growth, driven by easing tariff fears and an AI chip boom. But Mr. Wong says sustaining this pace of growth will be challenging.
We will face more obstacles to growth, and inflationary pressures may intensify. And as a small and open economy, Singapore cannot fully shield ourselves from these headwinds. To remain competitive, we cannot simply do more of the same. We must rethink, reset, and refresh our economic strategies. DPM Gan Kim Yong is leading a team of younger office holders in this important effort. Their first set of proposals will be released soon, and the government will respond at Budget 2026.
Mr. Wong says Singapore is in a position of strength. Companies are increasingly locating themselves here, from Microsoft's first AI research lab in Southeast Asia to startups using Singapore as a launchpad into the region. PM Wong says the government will continue supporting firms to expand and scale overseas.
Even as we look outward for new opportunities, our focus remains firmly on improving lives here at home. We will make sure that every Singaporean benefits from the nation's progress. We will work with the labour movement and employers to help every worker grow and progress, so they can see tangible gains for themselves and their families. We will continue improving the basics in life, education, housing and healthcare, so every Singaporean has security and peace of mind. At the same time, we will reinforce our social safety nets to ensure that no one is left behind.
But the road ahead is not without challenges. Singapore's rapidly aging population means retirement adequacy is key. At the same time, falling birth rates are adding pressure on young citizens, from housing to childcare. Then there's how to power all this with a reliable supply of clean energy.
They will require us to be bold, creative, and open to new solutions. We will have many robust debates, but we must never allow our differences to divide us. Instead, we must harness our diverse perspectives to chart a new way forward as one united people.
Drawing lessons from history, PM Wong says newly declassified documents show that Singapore's survival was never assured.
We endured and progressed because we refused to be defeated, because we faced challenges together with courage and quiet determination. Sustaining the Singapore miracle requires the same spirit from all of us today. So let us carry this mindset into the new year, resilient and united, determined and hopeful, as we write the next chapter of our Singapore story together.
President Tharman Shanmugaratnam focused on multiculturalism in his New Year message, saying that the beauty of Singapore lies in being able to learn and enjoy each other's cultures. He highlighted Singaporeans who have done so, saying that such efforts will add up over time. Here's an edited snippet.
They will add to deepening our multiculturalism, and in a natural way. As more Singaporeans experiment and even attempt to master each other's cultures, we will develop a more confident sense of our shared identity.
Singaporeans will ring in the new year in just a few hours, and for the first time, Mediacorp's countdown celebration is moving to the shores of Siloso Beach. The special beachfront edition will feature a mix of homegrown and regional acts, with first-time collaborative performances on stage. Aslam Shah is at Sentosa's Siloso Beach, where all the action is. Aslam, tell us, what can we expect from the countdown party this evening?
Yes, Jen, after an anxious few hours, the mood has suddenly lifted here at Siloso Beach. It's been cloudy, it's been drizzling, and there has been lightning risk alerts as well. Many of the members of the public had to wait hours to enter, and they are slowly streaming in right now. Some who have came here from as early as 8 a.m. in the morning to get the best views for this free entry event. Let's Celebrate concert here at Siloso Beach. And it has been an anxious wait, not just for the members of the public, but also for some of the performers. And I'm joined here today by Jack and Ray. It was a very anxious wait with the lightning risk alerts, but now we are seeing the crowd tendering, some taking pictures as well. How are you feeling right now, and what do you hope to, what are you expecting for the concert later?
Well, you know what? We were never nervous about anything. We knew the party was going to go on, and you know what? People are being let in right now. We are super stoked, super excited about tonight.
Ray, is about over 15,000 people who are expected to celebrate here at Siloso Beach. What do you hope they take away from this celebration and also going into the new year?
I mean, it's going to be a party. It's going to be electric, lightning warning included. But we definitely know there's going to be lots of fun for people, and we want them to start their 2026 with a bang. And that's basically how we want it.
So plenty of optimism, not just from the performers, but also from members of the public here in Sentosa and across Singapore. Back to you, Jen.
Thanks, Aslam, and that was CNA's Aslam Shah with the latest on Mediacorp's countdown party live at Sentosa's Siloso Beach. Crowds have headed to Marina Bay as well to usher in 2026. Rachel Ting has the latest there. Rachel, what's it like at Marina Bay?
Hi Jen, we are standing right here in front of the Singapore River and the iconic Singapore skyline. You know, this is the place to be if you want the quintessential countdown experience here in Singapore. Now, we were also sort of holding our breaths, seeing whether it was going to rain. Same as in Siloso, it was very cloudy and windy, but so far it looks like, crossing fingers, the weather has been pretty good to usher in the new year of 2026. Now, we are already starting to hear some pre-midnight fireworks over in the Kallang area, and this is sort of turning heads for the crowd even from here. But you know, we are not losing out here as well. You can hear the live band playing Oasis, playing Katy Perry, and many other popular hits. And people walking in from the CBD area can also enjoy these beautiful light projections on the iconic buildings. You know, this year for the first time, the UOB building will also be lit up and will feature artists from all over the ASEAN region. This is to unite because Singapore Singapore is not the only country celebrating. It's a global experience, right? And the Fullerton Hotel will also be featuring works from 20 different artists with disabilities. You know, we managed to speak to one of them earlier, Jaden, and he has illustrated this beautiful batik designs incorporated with flora and fauna. Now let's hear from him.
I hope that this artwork is like, you know, to represent all facets of society, and that, you know, and feel inspired from it, and that, you know, persons with disabilities like me can also be part of the Singapore story, because our voice matters.
Now the crowd is already starting to thicken. You know, people are chopping their seats in true Singaporean fashion, and the police are already making their presence felt. I can see a group of policemen right in front of me. Now they are advising members of the public to avoid these areas that have already been cordoned off. You know, these are the Jubilee Bridge, the Fullerton waterfront area, the Merlion waterfront area, and Clifford Square. People also have access to this information right from their phones if they access the Crowd at Marina Bay website. What's new this year is that they also can click on these camera icons and they can see more or less live photos of the crowd situation here, so that partygoers can decide if they still wish to head to these locales or change course, and they can stay informed while having fun here at Marina Bay.
All right, Rachel, thanks for the update. Rachel Peng reporting there live at Marina Bay. There's also a party atmosphere in the heartlands of Singapore, with large crowds expected to gather across 7 sites later tonight for New Year's Eve celebrations. Authorities and the People's Association have deployed over 1,000 staff, volunteers and officers to ensure that safety and security plans are in place. For more, our reporter Nadine Yam joins us live from One Punggol, one of the Heartland celebration sites. Nadine, how's the party where you're at?
Well, Jen, as you can see behind me, there is a lot of people right now. Everyone is in a definite festive mood. We've seen multi-generational families, from little babies to old people like grandfathers and grandmothers, ever since the event started at 6 p.m. earlier today. Well, there's definitely a little something for everyone over here. There are various arcade booths, various carnival booths rather here, face painting, bouncy castles, just to name a few. And there was also a DJ earlier on who was spinning a lot of upbeat music to basically get everyone in the party mood. And as the night progresses, I think people are going to be aiming to get as close as possible to the 2 main highlights over here at One Punggol. There will be a 5-minute drone show, as well as the fireworks that are going to go off at midnight at the Punggol Waterway Aerial Space that's actually behind, in front of me right now. I can't really pan it to you guys right now because it's a bit hard. But yeah, that's the highlights for tonight. And so far we've had performances from community groups, students from the Singapore Institute of Technology, and we can expect a lot more exciting performances throughout the night. We've got fire eating shows, we've got a pyrotechnic show coming up as well, and we can also expect Punggol GRC's MPs that will be in attendance for the countdown, including Deputy Prime Minister Gan Kim Yong.
It sounds like it's going to be a packed night of activities, Nadine. But, you know, security is also a big concern for this year's party. What's it like at Punggol there, the security situation?
Most definitely, Jen. I mean, over here, Punggol is actually one of the 7 heartland sites that are actually holding celebrations to usher in 2026 this year. And as you've mentioned earlier on, the People's Association did share with me that over 800 of their staff and volunteers are, deployed across the 7 sites, the 7 heartland sites, to ensure the security and safety of the partygoers tonight. This is on top of over 150 security and auxiliary police officers that are also managing the crowds, managing the crowd control, and doing their patrols quite regularly. I think the arrangement is also in light of the accidents and incidents that have taken place overseas in crowded areas, and they tell me that they're not taking any chance with regards to security and safety tonight. Back to you in the studio.
All right, thanks for the update, and that was our reporter Nadine Yam reporting live from One Punggol. Still ahead on News Tonight, Singapore sends more aid to Gaza, but it faces obstacles in getting them to people on the ground.
My Mitsubishi Electric Starmax aircon saves me energy and money. It's easy to clean and is
60 main
attack earlier this month. Such an advanced and developed society with a long history of engaging in robust speech is now facing a very different environment. Hence, their circumstances are very different to Singapore.
Australia, they're all trying to deal with this. Whereas our situation is slightly different. You know, our birth circumstances, if you go back to 1965 and a little bit earlier, our birth circumstances were racial riots, religious confrontation. And we had a set of leaders who, taking that into account, put in place a framework which, when it comes to free speech and hate speech, drew very clear lines. No hate speech that crosses or attacks another race, another religion. And over the years, you know, we have strengthened that framework. We put in more laws.
Mr. Shanmugam was speaking on the sidelines of the 5th edition of the Humanity Matters Gaza Relief Packing event. About 150 volunteers, including community leaders and students, turned up to pack 18 tons of supplies in aid of civilians in Gaza affected by the conflict. These include 60,000 packs of ready-to-eat meals and 3,000 pieces of collapsible jerry cans.
They've engaged over 30,000 volunteers and partners through these years since October 2023. So, and I think if more is needed, Singaporeans will be willing to do more. I think the issue is not so much whether we can raise more, it's whether it can get to the people on the ground. And Jordan has been very helpful, but you know, it's not within the complete control of Jordan. And there have been difficulties in trying to get the relief supplies onto the ground.
From tighter identity checks and real-time payment alerts to in-app advisories and transaction nudges, banks and e-commerce platforms in Singapore say they have stepped up targeted anti-scam measures. That's as scam tactics grow more sophisticated, increasingly resembling legitimate online behavior, especially amid the year-end shopping period. Noah Kong reports.
When demand is high, supply is limited, and buyers feel pressure to bag a deal, that's when scams often surface. Carousel says this year's year-end risk lies on high-demand items, such as concert tickets and collectibles. Police advisories back this up, warning of resale ticket scams involving fake screenshots or receipts, as well as trading card scams where pre-orders never arrive despite deposits paid. Carousel says it has rolled out tighter SingPass verification for high-risk categories, along with in-app safety advisories warning against upfront payments or moving deals off the platform. Still, curbing abuse remains a challenge.
The e-commerce scams are a lot more difficult to control because to us they often look like a normal transaction. We believe that scammers started to use AI more to make messages more customized. And that makes it more difficult for us to detect.
OCBC agrees scams are evolving. It warns the year-end period typically brings a spike in e-commerce and travel-related scams, such as fake hotel bookings and fraudulent festive purchases.
Towards the end of the holiday, you see the thing going up by maybe 10-20% than the usual amount. Then after that, it will taper back again. Chinese New Year, you'll see it going up again. There is surprisingly a seasonality effect as well, depending on the festivity.
OCBC has rolled out measures such as in-app calls to help customers distinguish real bank staff from the fraudsters. It's also boosted its scam surveillance and trained staff to watch for signs of distress. DBS adds that fake sellers, unrealistic discounts, and delivery-related phishing are also more common during this period. It urges customers to slow down, verify transactions, and make full use of security tools. Amazon says its focus is on consumer education, urging shoppers to verify purchases directly within its app or website. Singapore's consumer protection body advises buyers to research and compare prices, use Case Trust accredited or reputable platforms with buyer protection, and avoid making payments outside official channels. Across platforms, banks, and authorities, the message is consistent. When demand is high and urgency is used as a hook, pause, verify, and never rush into payment.
143 people are assisting with investigations for their suspected involvement in scams, either as scammers or as money mules. They are believed to be involved in over 400 cases, which victims reportedly lost over $3.82 million. The police conducted a 2-week operation ending yesterday. The cases include mainly e-commerce scams, friend impersonation, government official impersonation, and investment scams. Harsher punishments for scam offences kicked in yesterday. Scammers and members or recruiters of syndicates face mandatory caning of 6 strokes, which can go up to 24. Coming up on News Tonight, an update of the mega Changi East development. Tunnel works connecting the future Terminal 5 to the existing Terminal 2 have been completed.
Weather report brought to you by Mitsubishi Electric.
Not a question of them taken as a... It was an agreement to separate. And we will never fear. You know, some people think we are a small place, they can put the screws on us. It's not so easy.
Channel 5. Details at Mediacorp.sg/Let's Celebrate. Brought to you by main sponsor Caltex with Techron and in support of Giving.sg and SG Share.
Get ahead with year-end festivities with the Pizza Cheesy Bites Party Box. Pre-order for your year-end festivities and get an additional $10 off. Great for a party of up to 8 people, all for under $50. Take your pick from 4 sensational Cheesy Bites flavors, all served with your favorite sides. Order today.
Teams in sync. Tasks in check. The ideas overflowing. Time seamless. Let MasterCard Easy Savings Specials power your business and build your dreams.
Main tunnel works connecting the future Terminal 5 to the existing Terminal 2 have been completed as the Changi East development gathers pace. Remaining works are ongoing to connect this main tunnel to the respective terminals. Once completed in the mid-2030s, these underground links will allow Changi Airport to operate as one integrated airport when the mega terminal opens. Charlotte Lin with the progress update.
The future of Singapore's massive terminal is slowly taking shape, and it starts with laying the foundation. This underground tunnel will facilitate baggage transfer between terminals 2 and 5. 2 other tunnels will transport passengers to and fro, ensuring seamless and rapid transfers between terminals. I'm currently 28 meters underground, and this tunnel where I'm at will be where future passenger trains will pass through to connect Mega Terminal 5 with the existing Terminal 2. Now, subsequently, workers will start to lay the rail tracks and do test runs to ensure safe operations. Once completed, each train can carry about 100 passengers at intervals of around 4 minutes. These tunnels will run underneath the second runway, connecting Terminals 2 and 5. So far, about 1.7 kilometers of the 2.5 kilometer stretch have been completed, with the construction for the remaining stretches still ongoing. Work is also underway to build additional tunnels to ensure smooth transfer of baggage and passengers within Terminal 5 and a passenger train depot and station at Terminal 2. The main tunnel works started in early 2022, and the 1.7 kilometer stretch was completed in October last year. It was no easy feat, with careful planning required to minimize disruption to airport operations.
One of the challenges is that all 3 tunnels had to be constructed underneath an operating taxiway. The engineers had to be very careful in planning the parameters in the operation of the tunneling machine to make sure there's no impact on the airport operation at all.
Other ongoing works include the construction of aircraft stands and connecting taxi lanes. Terminal 5 will effectively double the size of Changi Airport. When ready, it will be able to handle about 50 million passengers annually. Members of the public can also look forward to a free exhibition in 2026, offering a behind-the-scenes planning of the new terminal.
And this is the last News Tonight bulletin for 2025. I'll see you again next year. Happy New Year.